And we are back. First podcast, Michelle, of 2026.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Well, feeling
How are
much
you feeling?
better. Much better. So, yeah, nice, lovely Christmas break and then ready to come back the 5th of January and bang, Noel in the
Noel
hospital. Noel Michelle in the hospital. Another 2 weeks, so like 4 weeks off my work. Shocking.
Ending for a skive, you.
I
Ending for a
know.
skive.
But and missed the show, like the January furniture show was
Yeah.
this week, and I really would have liked to have gone, but just no, quite ready. But back to it and happy to be here
I
today.
did see our sponsors, Tirls.
Yeah,
they were
they were
down
there.
having a ball,
I know.
spending loads of money.
Yeah, seen all the pictures. I'm like, oh, can't wait to see. So
I know,
yeah,
the pictures do look, it looked like a great
Looked good,
show this year. So
good show.
next year we'll be there.
Yes, we'll be there.
We'll be there. So I've just had an absolute mental start to the year. Like I've been
Busy?
here, there, everywhere. But it's been good. Very fruitful beginning, to say the least.
Oh yes. I also seen you on some American news channel with your Victoria Beckham dance, I believe.
Right,
Yes.
right. Let's
Tell
just
us,
strip
tell us.
this back a bit. Let's strip it back. So we all know the drama with the Beckhams
Yep.
that's been happening over the last couple of days. So, you know me, I jumped in the bandwagon with old TikTok. And I posted a video of me for an awards ceremony
Yeah.
I was at in
Mhm.
November. Just whacked a caption on it. Overnight, 250,000 views.
Oh my god.
And a message for a producer in ABC News saying, hey, can we use this as part of our upcoming piece on the Beckhams?
Oh my
I was
god.
like, do what you want.
What
So
are you
I
like?
woke up this morning and I literally was like, oh my God, there's my kitten on ABC
Oh,
News.
in for a bit of fame.
Oh, you know me. You know me.
But anyway, it's good to be back to the podcast. So we've got some fabulous guests lined up for
We have got
2026.
some crackers lined up, and let's kick start it off. So today we have got Martin Daly from MD Builders joining us, a multi-award winning builder from Motherwell and the man who's just been crowned Screwfix's top tradesperson 2025. And if that wasn't enough, MD Builders also scooped Scotland's best building contractor at the Scottish Home Improvement Awards. We're getting into the real story behind the success, how you scale a building company without losing the craftsmanship, why he's big on apprenticeships, and how content and video have helped supercharge the business. So let's go. Welcome, Martin.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Ooh, good
Oh.
intro.
I know, it's very good, wasn't it?
Aye, get that in your
Take it
bio. So I just take us back. Who is Martin?
Who is
How
Martin
did
Daly? Come
MD
on.
begin?
Well, way back then. So, as you know, I started when I played football. So that's kind of where the journey started. So when I was 17, I was playing football and I actually had no kind of indication to go into a trade. Like in my school, never really taught you to get into a trade. It was either go to uni, well, that was pretty much it, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I was taught to play football. But when I was 17, I broke my leg in two
Oh.
playing football, and I was supposed to go to America to go and to go and play, but I had that injury, and basically I broke my fibia and tibia, and I thought it would just be like because I seen football players break their legs all the time, and I just thought it would be like a 6.
Yeah.
They told me initially, 6 weeks, come back in 6 weeks and it'll be good. So I'm like, all right, I'm good to go, sort of thing. So I came back in 6 weeks later, and they actually said, oh, it's not healing right. So what was happening? The bones were like this, overlapping. So they had to re-break my leg there, which was that was actually worse than breaking it because I knew it was coming.
Yeah, you knew it was coming.
So basically, they had to do that, re-break it, and attach it back to where it was. And then that's when I got the worst news when they says, basically this won't be healed for at least 9 months, and you can never do contact sport again.
Oh, wow.
So I'll always remember being in the kind of doctor's office when they said
Yeah.
that because my whole body just left me. Like I just was totally total shock. So at that time, it took me 9 months to heal, and that was when I was like 18, 19. So felt like I missed a massive part of my life. You know what I mean? Everybody was going on their first holidays and everything like that, and I kind of missed that. So basically, I was either I had really nothing else to do. So football or kind of getting to trade. And luckily for me, my dad was a joiner. So I started to go out with him kind of labouring. And that wasn't the plan. That was only just to kind of get back on my feet until I found out what I really wanted to do. But I started to work with him and basically really enjoyed it.
Yep.
So I worked with him kind of as a labourer doing bits and bobs, and I worked for him for kind of a year or two, but then he decided to move country. So
Well, thanks, Dad.
I know, I was like, thanks, Dad. And it's quite fun at the time because when I was working, that's when I kind of first I had my first ever car was off of Daly.
There we go. Yeah.
First ever car was off
We
of
actually did reveal that when I had a couple of beveraginos in me at the Scottish
You
Film
did
Improvement
indeed.
Awards.
And
it's just in fact that's old Martin's first car.
I know. So at the time, I was a brand new limited edition Corsa. It was like I felt like Top Boy, and so I had that, and basically bought that. And then a few months later, my dad's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm moving to Ireland."
Oh my
So
God.
I was kind of like, right, okay, and that's what kind of was the big difference for me, because that was me kind of on my own.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to
No
grow
choice
up.
but to stand on your own
I
two feet.
literally had to like, right, I need to kind of stand up here and
Make a
kind of
life,
think.
right.
And I remember sitting in a car park in Wishy, and I had no work. So my dad was in Ireland, and literally there was no work. I had this wee Corsa. Wasn't a lot of bills at the time, but when you're 18, 19,
Sitting
you're
in
like,
McDonald's car
I'm like, how am I going to pay for this? I've
Aye.
just signed up to a lease.
Aye.
So that's actually where I sat and made my first Facebook page. A car park in Wishy, made the first Facebook page of MD Builders, and literally I started going out and doing wee jobs, like fitting wardrobes and wee skittings in rooms in the back of this Corsa. Do you know what I mean? And basically from that Facebook page, it just got busier and busier.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually sold the Corsa, bought a van, and it wasn't until about 21, 22, I actually sold that car and bought a van. And then from that, kind of just grew and ended up, like, the first big thing I'd done was a wee competition where I'd fit a kitchen for free. So the person would supply the kitchen and I would come do the labour. And I think that got like 13 million views.
Wow.
Cheers.
Well, I was your Facebook page is, what is it, almost 140k?
140k, and it literally kind of came from doing that. Like, that was obviously about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was the first ever time I think there was competitions and that on social media.
Absolutely.
And so I shared that, saying I'd come and fight a kitchen for free, and honestly, just share after share after share, it literally just exploded. And that's what kind of got me the platform where people started to use us more.
Yeah.
So from there, kind of grew a bit more, hired some more boys.
And I suppose in some ways, the hunger and the drive, passion would have shone through for that, because you knew that there was.
Well, there was so much potential.
I need to fit this kitchen, but ultimately, I've now got this new following off the back of it. So,
so I need it.
And there may be potentially people in there within that will come back and use us. So,
and that's what happened. So literally just went from Facebook, started Instagram, TikTok, kind of grew it from just doing small jobs to then doing kitchens. And I used to do just bathrooms all the time, like came from kitchens, and that's what happens in construction. The good thing is that I can do pretty much everything, like when it comes to tiling.
Yeah.
Taught myself how to tile on YouTube. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't like to go back to the first couple of bathrooms I did. Luckily, they were for family members, so I think I'd done them for next to nothing.
So
you know
you kind of learned on the job then?
Learned as I went. And don't get me wrong, my dad still came back and forth and helped me like do bits and bobs that were kind of out my depth, because now we do a lot of like structural stuff. And it's not even like you realise like how easy it can be, but when you're on that and you're taking the back of somebody's house down, and you're literally the night before looking at YouTube, like, just to make sure, am I doing this right? And
some I imagine is very intricate. And
it's very, but most of it is just common sense. But that was like, I remember the first time I even built a decking. I was on YouTube the day before, like just making sure, like, that's definitely how I do it. And that way, and I'm a massive overthinker that way. But and I feel like that's mainly because of the job I'm in. Like, I need to think of every situation,
every aspect,
every like issue that can happen. And even now, I'm still thinking every day. Like, before I go to bed, it's like, right, thinking of that. What if that happens? What if this happens? So kind of just grew it from there, and kind of went on to kind of bigger projects, and now we're kind of just house building.
Amazing.
And now you've turned into this somewhat monster that you've created.
I don't know what I've done.
Do you? Obviously, I know you love it, but have you still got a lot of drive and passion for it?
I wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in my blood now.
Yeah.
Construction and being in the trade, I just adore it.
And how have you found, like, working with other trades? So, like, jobs that I've been on before, and if they're not part of the same team, trades can be very critical of one another. So
Aye.
it's like, who was your plasterer? Who was your?
Yep.
It's all of that.
Aye.
And I've like at the beginning, I've struggled with that because I'm like, God, I want everybody to work together. And I'm like dead like collaborative. I'm like, come on, guys, let's work together. We can all sort this. And they're like that. Who's your plasterer? Who else? And you're kind of like, oh God, right. So it's like you want to get people who are the same mindset as you and want to work together.
Well, to be honest, it's took me 14 years to actually get a team. So there's like 9 of us in the team, and it's took me so many like arguments and that over the years. Like you would give somebody a job and they'd muck it up on you.
Yeah.
And like,
it's your name and reputation. That's
my name and reputation. And a lot of these guys are older than me. And you're like, so jobs I would like, say a kitchen refurb and like I'd show up, do the great kitchen, everything in place, and then you get the plasterer in and the plaster makes like a mess of it. And everything's back on you and you're like, why are you like not doing a good job? Like I don't get it.
So your team, do you employ the team or are you?
So we've got 3 permanent members who start, and then the 8.
And everybody else will like subcontract. But you're all part of the.
They're all subbies, but they're almost with us every day.
They're kind of working for you.
Pretty much. But
that's good.
But the guys I've got now are just fantastic. I mean, they're brilliant, and like you say, we all know how we like to work. Yeah. And don't have a problem with anybody. The hardest trade I ever had to deal with was the plasterers, to be honest.
I thought you was going to say interior designer.
No.
He said he's going to come on to them later.
I know.
Brush past that.
I've got a whole thing for that later.
It's actually funny talking about that, but because I keep seeing the same kind of style of reels pop up, and it's like the hate that electricians get on site. And it's just like, I was watching one earlier and it was like somebody had left their drill. And the plasterer just come in and plastered the drill, left it in the wall, and it's just like, go for it. Didn't move your tools? Well, it's gone now. So
our Sparkies are good. I've worked with our Sparkies since from the start, like since I was like 22, and as we grew, they grew, and they became just as good as well. But they were the biggest issue I ever had was plasterers, plasterers and bricklayers. Just
another thing I was going to ask is there a specific job that you've started or done and went, oh my God, this is when you in some ways knew that we're growing, this is that you would have thought maybe would have been at your depth, but actually realised this is big?
I think the first of a time that came to mind when I was literally, we were doing a wee extension and I took down the bit, and again, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I got all the job and all that at the time, and they're like, can you take down the back end of this? Aye. And I'm like, I can't, actually, I don't know how to, but I had people around about me I knew who could, so no, that way I was like, oh, don't worry, I'll get them in. They can show us how to do it.
Aye.
And
that's what it is, but everybody's got to start somewhere, isn't it?
But like same as you, I did like a few family and friends when I was just learning stuff, and I'd learned online certain things and whatever, because I haven't came into it like the direct route, and then I advertised that I was going to start this and whatever, and I went on to Gina McKee's radio show and I did a wee shout out, and then about 2 weeks later Gina McKee phoned me and said, I would love to support you and your business, come and see me, I want you to do my house. So I went into Gina's house and I was like, I would knock that wall down and I would do this and I would swap this room for this room and all the rest of it. And then I got in touch and she was like, eventually like, right, that sounds like a great idea, let's make it happen. And then I got like the trades in and they were like, right, so how do you know you can take that wall down? And I was like, well, I don't. But
I don't, but I want to.
I don't, but can I? And they were like, well, you can take it down at a certain point. And I was like, right, well, let's look at what we can do. Let's see what we can do. But like that, you learn quickly. Like you learn as soon as you do one job, you're like, right, okay, I'll not make that mistake again. I would do this. And
definitely.
The more you're doing, the more you learn, don't
you? I think that's the best way. That's the way I've always kind of taught myself, is kind of get thrown in the deep end.
Yeah.
Just go and do it. And if, like you say, in construction, though, and you say interior thing, there isn't really any margins for failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you need to still be on the ball. You can't really make a mistake taking somebody's house down. But I do get to the point where it's like, I'll do something, I think that could be better. So you have to like redo it. Like even when I was doing the kitchen fittings, I would do something with it and be like, that could look better. So you take it back out. And that's the difference between a bad tradesperson and a good tradesperson.
And I think it's a similar thing for like interior design. Like I'm not the person that would say, I'm going to give you this because this is what I like. I'm going to listen to what the client likes, how they like to live and whatever. And I'm very much like, I like to involve them if they want to be involved. Because there's nothing worse than you get your client to spend this money on their furniture and whatever, and then you go, I don't really like that.
I know.
So you have to be sure, and I would be honest and say, I'm not really sure that's working. Let's have a look at maybe we need to add this, or maybe we can move that to that room and see, because I'm not happy with the finished product. And I think as long as you build that relationship with people, it's fine. They work with you on that.
Well, that's what kind of that's why most people kind of get us on board as well, because of that. Like we'll suggest this would look better, or think you should do that, and pretty much and that's why we get as much work as well.
I know Michelle's dying to ask you, but she's no. What is your experience working with interior designers?
I don't think I ever have.
There you go.
So I don't think I ever have.
Driving up with one. Like, I wonder. Cause
so from a design process then, like, so if you go to a client, you say you go to Declan and Declan says, right, Martin, I want to do an extension. I want to put my kitchen into that extension, and I want this room to be like a cinema room or a TV room, whatever. Would you then design that for him with the finishes and stuff, or would you want him to tell you what the finishes he wants? How would you
usually
work that
the customer design? So they would give us the extension, we'd get our architect in and say, well, this is how they want it designed. But when it comes to finishings, that's all up to the customer. So we don't really deal with how they want it to look, but they'll say, we want to put herringbone flowing down. We don't even really deal with painters and decorators anymore. We just kind of say, well, that's extension built, and then how do you want it finished? Like what flooring down, tiling down, skirtings, paint it, the kitchen in. It's kind of up to them after that, what like couches or painting.
So you just take it to a point, and then that's
our point,
rather than the finished article as such. So
good collaboration.
Definitely.
There, Martin, wicked opportunity.
Absolutely.
And there, you said architect, so interior designers and architects sometimes clash because they've got different ideas, but I work with an architect who doesn't want to get involved in any of the finishes. He'll say to me, I'm not interested in the finish. I'll do all the drawings and I'll do this, but you deal with the finishes. And so have you worked with the same architect all the time?
No. So we have our own architect, Ian, and he's been great, but most jobs we go to now, people have already got their drawings.
Right, okay.
So most of them, it's always a different architect. And
so what, from your point of view then, what's the best point for people to get you in right at the start when they're thinking about it, or?
Right at the start, because we deal with the whole package. So some people go and get an architect, get all the drawings, and then find out, oh, this is a lot dearer than we thought. And it's a problem that kind of architects have now. I'm going to a kind of architect meet and greet at the end of this month, actually. You should probably go. It's the 3rd of February in Edinburgh. They're kind of architect. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll get that for you. But usually that's the main issue a lot of builders have had last year is architects giving customers the wrong price. Telling them it's going to cost X amount, making them pay 2,000 or 3,000 for the paperwork, and then I'd come in and say it's going to be X amount, and they're like, oh, well, that's well out of price range, or we didn't expect anything like that. And
rather than managing the expectations.
Instead of just having this, and then a lot of the time I disagree with architects have put in. So even last year, a project we done, like this architect, just the insulation was just completely overkill. Like he wanted like the king span in front of all the timber studs, so it was bringing all the room in. And it's just like simple things. You're like, well, no, put it inside, like the studs, and just upgrade it a bit. And eventually that got passed, and you're like, well, why would you not do it that way? And that's why I think people are best coming straight to me, because I know it's kind of the best, best interest for them.
It's funny because my daughter's moved into a house in Hamilton, and she doesn't like the kitchen, but there's a massive garden. She's got no utility room, and she was away looking at a new kitchen and whatever, and it was however many thousand, and I said to her, like, would you not be better waiting even another year and then doing an extension so that you've got your kitchen in your... And she's like, Mum, how much does that cost? I've no idea where to even begin with that. Who do I talk to? Whatever. And I was like, hello, I'll help you. But I'm like, so for normal people, like just running the mill, they don't know that. So therefore it's like, get in touch with a builder first. The builder, you would then say, right, this is what I think. And here's, if you're happy with that kind of ballpark figure, the architect will come in.
That's exactly what we do. So I actually done that yesterday. So I know a customer texts me and says, how much would it roughly be for this? And it doesn't bother me, because I've kind of got it down to a T now. I know exactly how much something, I don't spend hours and hours doing it. And basically it's going to be roughly this. And then if they're happy with that, then I'll come out and go over it all, book the architect, book the engineer, come out and kind of book a time in to do it.
Yep.
Well, that's good because we've said before on this podcast it would be good. It's good for people to take away like hints and tips from like the trades and stuff that we've got on, and I think that's quite a good one because a lot of people like Ern wouldn't know where to start.
Because I tell people just to message me for free because I actually just love getting back to folk. Like, this isn't, let's say, it's not just a job to me. Like I actually genuinely enjoy doing this and helping people.
A bit of heart and passion in it.
So like even my quotes and all that, they're all free, and I have people message me all the time, even like kind of younger guys and girls, kind of how to get apprenticeship, and I try my best to try and steer them in the right direction, and like you say, customers as well. Like how much would it roughly be? And I know a lot of tradespeople don't like roughly like how long
figures.
But it's still hard, especially if you're not in the game.
Yeah,
it's really it can be really, really difficult if you have no idea where to start from, because people really don't have a clue how much these kind of things cost.
Yeah. I know, it's like ballpark then. It's like, and how much is that going to cost? Is it 30,000? Is it 50,000? What is it? And it's like you just don't know.
And have you noticed a massive uptake in the prices of like extensions compared to where they were like now we're post COVID? Like
huge increase.
Huge increase, isn't it?
But to give a kind of ballpark figure, like kind of average price for an extension now is kind of 2,500 to 3,000 plus the VAT per square metre.
Wow.
That's how much average. But when I started, I think it was like £1,100 a square metre.
Wow.
It was only 14 years ago. That was the kind of average price back then, 1,100, like a 3,000 plus VAT, which is nuts. But again,
and then I guess it's the cost, it's the weighing up if somebody's not got enough room. And it's the live it or list it thing, isn't it? It's like, do you want to live it or do you want to list it? Then when Phil and Kish took one in, it's like, right, well, here's what you could make, here's what you could build, and what you might not still get all of the room, but you're not paying selling costs and the tax and all this kind of stuff. As opposed to that you'll have your extension, still a lot of money, but I guess people have to weigh that up as well.
Well, that's it. That's kind of where most of our work comes, because it's that expensive to move now.
Yeah.
And on that note,
bidding wars and stuff as well.
On that note, like it is so expensive to move now, and even looking at the price of like new builds, it's frightening. It's absolutely frightening. But so see folk that are content in their home but would love bigger space, like however maybe don't have the capital or as such that they could put that bigger extension on. Is there still something in play where like they could add like a 3x3 without planning permission?
You can do that, so you kind of need planning permission, but you don't need a building warrant. So a lot of people will get confused with this.
Right, so that's maybe a good one to kind of touch on.
I've noticed this a lot as well with people buying property and like buying land and that. So obviously I've got kind of a lot of property investors. You'll see a plot of land or something and they'll say, oh, it has planning permission to build a house. And you're like, all right, okay, does it have a building warrant? No. Like, well, that means you can't build on it yet. Well, it means you can, but there's a reason there's a building warrant, and that's why they're selling the plot.
Right.
So I actually got caught out with this as well. Me, the builder, got caught out. I bought a plot of land down in, it was down the Clyde side, I think, Carnoustie, is it? Where is it down the Clyde side?
Carnoustie's Fife, is it not?
There's no Clyde side.
Carnoustie
Begins with a C. This was only about 3 years ago. It was down there. Anyway, it was down at the Clyde side, and there was like 11 houses all getting built around this kind of bit of water.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, yeah. So I bought a plot of land there, and it had planning permission for a house, paid the deposit for it, and so paid the deposit for it. And this was during the Christmas holidays, so I actually went down just to see it all, because my plan was to build a house, sell it. So I went down and had to plan permission for a big house. I'm like, brilliant. Like, and the plot of land was like 85 grand, and I'm like, no bother. I'm like, why is nobody buying this? And the Clyde side and all the houses round about it were all 800,000 and stuff, like in that kind of area. So I'm like, right, okay, because there was other plots and folk had been building their houses. So I bought this plot and I went down and said, I chapped the neighbour's door. Said, oh, I'm going to be building a plot there, just nice to meet you. And they're like, oh no, you won't. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? They're like, the main sewer for Kaluk runs under that plot. They're like, you need, the last person that had bought that got estimated that it was going to be like £3 million to move it. So I was like, what?
Oh my
so
God.
I phoned up the letting agents again, and again there was nothing on that was they don't have to mention that this isn't in it or that's a thingy. So luckily I was within a 14-day period.
Pulling off.
So I managed to get my deposit back.
Wow.
But it was just by luck that I had went down, chapped the door to actually say, and I wasn't even going to chap the door. I was just going to be like,
down Clyde Valley?
Clyde Valley. Is that what I mean? Clyde Valley. Kind of up for where Dobbies and all that is.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
exactly.
I can't remember the name of it now. It'll come to me.
Yeah.
But that's where it was. And that plot's still sitting empty to today.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
so
shocking,
that's
isn't
what
it?
you need to be careful. So even now, we got 2 extensions in Motherwell cancelled because and this is quite a thing with kind of North Lanarkshire Council. I don't really like what they're doing now. I actually feel like they're kind of conning people a bit. So we had 2 extensions that we had an architect, or I went again, the customer messaged me, I want to do this extension, how much will it cost? I say it's going to cost between, say, 60, 70,000, talking sake. So like, that's brilliant. So I got the architect out, architect done the drawings, engineer done his bit. The customer paid about maybe £2,500, £3,000 to get the paperwork to submit it to North Lanarkshire Council. North Lanarkshire Council then says, yep, planning permission granted for that. So that was all good to go. And then you're just going to have to wait for your building warrant. So the building warrant came through with a condition that says, we'll need a mine gas survey. And like, right, okay. How much does a mine gas survey cost? £15,000 for this mine gas survey.
Wow.
So customers are like, well, no, that's way out my price range now.
Yeah.
I can't do that. And you're like, well, it's so frustrating because you're like, why don't you just do that first?
Yeah.
I mean, you grant the plan and permission. And the best of it is we can't do anything until we submit the plans.
Yeah.
So the customer has to pay £2,500, £3,000 to submit the plans to the council. And then the council then respond with that, saying you're going to have to pay £15,000 to do it. And there's nobody here that does it. Like, you have to kind of go down south, get this big company to come up and do it. And the worst of it all is, like, you get this survey and it still doesn't guarantee you can build on the ground. And it's frustrating though, because it's like, well, it's not like we're building a house in the middle of nowhere. The houses are all built around about it.
Yeah.
So are you going to say that the ground's not safe there then? So everybody not have to evacuate their houses if we're not? And it wasn't like a colossal house. Again, it was only like 4 metre by 3 metre extension. So,
and especially when you've got such a housing crisis, you would think
exactly.
that the Scottish government, everybody would be wanting, encouraging people to actually build and extend and stuff, so that there's more accommodation.
Exactly.
Shocking.
And this has happened twice now, and it was in Motherwell. Both these things have happened in Motherwell. Same problem. Customers had to cancel, and it's just really frustrating because I felt terrible because I was like, I've just made a customer spend £2,500 on plans and engineer and all that, and then the council came back with this like insane thing, and it's just. But the worst of it is, like, that's in that bit. I built an extension not even 200 yards down the road and didn't need anything.
Oh my God.
That's frustrating.
It's probably a great point to actually bring up, because it is excellent for any listener there that's pondering these ideas and thinking about going down that route, because there's so much in depth that
and I think every day, like, we all watch the programmes about like property and all that, and you think you could be a property investor and I could just buy this and I could renovate that and whatever. So many pitfalls. And I noticed on your website that you do like inspections. So if I was to go and buy something that I wanted to renovate, you could come with me and say, right, Michelle, before you buy this, you need to consider X, Y, and Z. And it's going to cost you this.
Exactly.
So that gives people a good insight then. And it's £100 flat fee? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is,
So for £100, before you bid on something and
start spending £2,500.
You can actually come and give you a bit of peace of mind.
The most of the time I've just done that for free now. I don't even charge, because again, a lot of the people who have came to me asked that have been like young guys, young girls trying to get on to making a property. And I don't know, they come out and ask me that, and I'm like, don't even bother. Like, I'm here just to tell you, like, I can see you just trying to better yourself. You're trying to invest your money, and I love that.
Remember, I went to see one in Mount Vernon, because I've always had a hankering to do. Now that I'm doing everybody else's, I sometimes go, I wish I could do my own, but then I've got no time to do it and whatever. So anyway, I went to see this one in Mount Vernon, and I took a quantity surveyor guy that I know, and he's like, and I was like, look at this, and he was like, no, you need to think about this. You need to think about that.
And it's always that one.
Again, draws away.
You need to, and of course, Hugh was there, and Hugh was like totally black and white, and he was like, oh no, Charlie says no, like, you can't. And I'm like, what? It was totally put us off, and I was like, oh well, there goes the dream house. We'll not bother.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Yeah.
Because property investing can be hard, to be honest.
Sorry, you were going to ask something there, but so just to clarify, somebody can come to you, not just if they want an extension or they want a property invest, they can come to you if they're wanting a new kitchen.
Yep.
New bathroom.
Staircases. We do it all, but mainly the reason we kind of hired that, but we've got a videographer now that kind of works with us full time.
Yep.
And I hired him last year because I kind of wanted away from doing kitchens and bathrooms. The small jobs, mainly wanted to focus on extensions and house building. That's the kind of what I love doing most.
Garage conversions. We still popular garage conversions because you see all these like new build estates and they've all got a garage and whatever, and the garages just get used for junk.
I know, that's like, we can't get a car in them.
Aye.
I mean, unless you've got a son.
Teenagers and all that, and you're like, oh, we'll just convert the garage. What about like garden rooms and stuff?
Aye, summer cabins, all that. Yeah, we do everything. We do everything, but our main focus now is extensions. And it seems because we're fully booked this year, extensions. Because we're not like a lot of people think that we're some sort of like massive firm that's got 40 guys that working with. Like we're not. Like I only need 5 or 6 extensions. And
how many vans have you got on the road? Because I feel I pass about 40 vans.
One van.
You just must see them all the time.
This is like, God, how many guys you got working with you now? And you're like 3. You're like, but you're building that big house. You're like, that's all we need, eh? Like we don't need.
Hilarious.
Everybody says that.
Like, I'm like, oh, there's another one of Martin's vans.
I know. Honestly, this is what everybody thinks. I'm like, God, you're massive. You've got all this. You're like,
but then,
no.
do you know something? Actually, bringing it back to like you're doing the social content, right? Like, you're painting the picture of your brand. Like there is such a professional tie to it. Like, it comes across. It's crisp. It's clean. It's polished. Do you know what I mean? It really does make a difference. And what you're doing right. You're ticking the boxes, Martin. So, guys, just a wee quick interruption to today's episode. We're thrilled to announce that the Scottish Interior Podcast is proudly sponsored by TThis Home Furnishings. TThis has a wealth of experience over 90 years within the industry. So a huge thank you to TThis Home Furnishings for supporting the podcast, bringing style, comfort and inspiration to homes across Scotland.
Do you do any, like you're going to this architect thing, but do you do any other like networking groups or anything like that?
Well, I'm part of the FMB, so that's a massive thing for me. So I only joined that last year and was at Holyrood speaking down at the House of Commons in London there with them all, and that's been a massive part. Right, so they put me on the board of Scotland in June last year.
So tell us, what is FMB?
So it's the Federation of Master Builders, and basically they're there just to support kind of builders and everybody like that in the kind of trade. And they're basically the voice. I mean, for the kind of micro businesses, and if people have issues, they bring it up in Parliament and try and pass things and everything like that. But that's really been a brilliant thing. I've loved it.
Down
at the House of Commons there, and again, what they were talking about is the shortage of houses and the skill shortage. So this is the biggest thing now in construction, is the skill shortage. There's nobody there to do it.
And how was that experience down there at House of Commons?
That was good. It was really, really exciting. Obviously, I've never been there, but the worst of it was that the
wee boy from Motherwell.
I know, it was quite funny. But
humping skirting boards at the back of his course.
Well, I literally was at the morning before. I'm like, I was fitting skittings in the hang now. I'm down at the House of Commons. I'm like, what's that? The funniest bit though was when I was outside. So obviously the farmers were all there protesting.
Yeah.
And initially I was there down with my girlfriend, fiance Ava. So we are down there and with the farmers initially, and then later on that night, then so I've had to put on like the 3-piece suit and meet them all there, and everybody in the FMB sort of thing on the board are all quite well spoken and everything like that. And I've met them all outside the kind of House of Commons, and they've all got their 3-piece suits on and all that. And the farmers started shouting at us like, scum, 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 like get Labour out and all that. And I'm like, no, I'm Labour.
I'm just from Motherwell.
I'm just from Motherwell. No, I'm one of you.
Oh my God.
They all thought I was like party, like, because I'm just dressed up. I'm like, no, I'm not them. I'm not with you guys. But that was a surreal experience. Really cool.
It has been an incredible year for you, hasn't it? Like when we last spoke, you just won Building Contractor of the Year.
I know. It's been some year, but it's actually probably been the most stressful year I've ever had.
Can I tell you it's only January? So you're talking about last year.
Oh, I know. Sorry, keep slipping. So last
still been the most stressful
year. So talk us through Screwfix Tradesperson of the Year.
I know. Well, that was crazy. So that kind of all came about. See, just because we started to film content, and it's funny because the main reason I started to film the content and was obviously to kind of grow the business a bit towards doing extensions, but the main reason was that I'm doing 2 best man speeches this year, and I've got a fear of public speaking. Like, I'm terrified of it, and the reason I hired the cameraman on was actually just to
build your
speaking,
confidence,
to start like speaking and everything like that, and that was the main reason. And then just we started doing the videos and kind of went to the kind of screw fix competition, and that was, they're like, oh, your videos are great, your content, and I'm like, is it? And that's I went down to London, and that was terrifying, to be honest.
How was the judging process on that? Like,
so there was like I think there was like the 5 judges, so 2 of them were previous winners, and then it was like 3 other judges. One was like the screw fix director, and the other 2 were kind of governing bodies as well, kind of not the FMB. One was like a plumbing one. I can't remember, and the other one was an electrical one. So I'm trying to remember them. I think there was like another 10 guys in it.
Wow.
So basically, you went down there, and it was basically just interviewed you for like 20 minutes. Just tell us what you're doing to help improve the trade. Like, mainly we're looking for somebody who was actually trying to improve it.
Yeah.
I mean, get more people in and everything like that. So pick me. So
but you know, just what you said there, like, you're very inspirational to talk to. Like, the passion does truly shine through.
No, I think,
it's
refreshing. Think obviously clients buy into that as well when they can tell that somebody's genuine and they love that you're invested in their
home. Even you hear them talking about invested in like even like getting to the point of getting to the quote rather than back a fag packet, and you know what I mean, there's your quote there, it's XYZ right to here, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all these things that make the difference.
It definitely does. It's about building that relationship, and half the time that we complete a job and customers take us out for dinner, and it becomes then that they're not really customers anymore. They're just like friends and family. There's times I go out and customers are like, do you fancy coming around for dinner?
Sounds familiar, Michelle, doesn't it? Now we're hosting a podcast together.
Sounds familiar. So I know it's really good. It's really good. It's dead inspiring. I'm like really enjoying chatting to you.
So also run me through what's the common mistakes or misconceptions people have got when it comes to like an extension. What are the things that
money?
I was going to say other than the cost.
Is there any things that and not delusional? That's a bit degrading. But do you know what I mean? Like, is there people that are blindsided and think, oh, that's just
time? Probably time, and people will either assume it's going to take 2 days, or people will assume it's going to take it's going to be a year of my life.
Key factors to take into play when you're thinking, right, we're going ahead, we're putting an extension, we've got the money. What would you say is the?
To be honest, most of my experience is nobody really gets any shockers with us. Like, I mean, like, that's why people come to us, and I kind of guide them. Like, it's obviously, I don't really know. Like, my experience has always been pretty positive. I mean, people, when I arrive, they know the kind of rough costs. Yeah. Most people get caught out, I would say, is the cost of kitchens and that.
Yeah.
The average price of a kitchen starts like 20 grand now, like 15, 20 grand.
Yeah, just a great one there. We spoke about it before, but Charlotte's.
I know.
That was incredible.
I know, because Declan obviously asked you about like what's been your sort of biggest job that you thought, wow, I didn't think I would get this. And like 18 months ago, Charlotte, who was my client, she had bought one of the big sandstones in Pollock Shields, and it was a care home.
Right.
So they wanted to turn it back into a proper residential house. They bought it for £1 million, and we spent about 1.6 on it.
You spent 1.6 on it? Jesus. That's some renovation, that.
That was a lot. It was a lot. 10 bedrooms and like a self-contained flat, and my God, it was something else. But and I learned so much. But the first quote we got for a kitchen was 200,000.
That's wild.
It's like people are buying houses for 200,000. What?
I know. It's the wee things, like you say, that people don't realise.
Oh my God.
Because we'll give the price of an extension, but I don't know if some people don't forget to factor in price of their couch. Like, a new couch now, is like £3,000 or £4,000.
Yeah.
I mean, like, just the wee things at the end that take up, because most of the time we have pretty good experience. This is the price. I mean, most people come to us now, they're not expecting a cheap quote.
Yeah.
Because our prices are fair, because me personally, I think you're getting one of the best about.
Yeah. Do people tell you their budget, or are they a bit?
No, I don't like people telling me their budget. I actually say to people, don't tell me your budget.
Yeah.
Because I've always said to people, don't tell me what you're going to spend, because I always feel as if somebody says, it's if I'm thinking this extension's $100 and somebody thinks it's 200, like I don't want to feel as if I'm that person. It's like, oh, it's 195.
Aye.
I mean, I would just
You're
say,
making it fit their budget.
this is the price that we are happy to do this job at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it, basically.
Yeah. Sometimes I have experiences where people say, oh, I don't really know my budget because I don't really know how much things cost and whatever. So I kind of say to people, right, if you were looking at a sofa, for example, are you happy to pay 3,000, are you happy to pay 5,000, are you happy to pay 7,000? Because then I know where you are. I know whether it's bespoke or whether it's off the shelf or whether it's, you know, and I think sometimes people like that don't want to say, here's my budget in case I go, all right, okay, so you're happy to pay $7,000 for a couch, let's go. Like, whereas actually I would say, listen, I think you could do this for X amount, and how does that suit you? Which seems like a kind of similar way that
That
you
was
work.
always the struggle I was up against in car sales you were always in some way told to try and ascertain the budget, try and get the budget, know the budget, so that you know, well, there's no point showing you an Astra if you can only afford the Corsa, or likewise, you know what I mean? And
that's funny. I remember when I bought my first Mercedes, I was in the Merc garage and I thought, I've made it. I've lit in the Merc garage and my car's going to be under that sheet and I can pull it off and all this kind of stuff. And the guy was like, right, so it's this. And I was like, no, my budget's £350 a month. And he was like, right, but this is 359. I said, no, my budget's £350 a month and this, whatever. And he got it to £349.95. And I was like, deal. We're done. And I would not go above 350. And I was like, you'll have to work harder to get it to the 350.
They'll never done that with me.
I've done it.
Seems to
This
go
was
up.
a few years ago. And then I was there with my wee, like, oh, look at me. Brilliant.
It's funny, the whole budget can be
Aye.
misconstrued in so many ways.
And some people feel embarrassed because they think maybe I've not got enough money and I don't want to tell you that I've not got enough money, so I'm going to...
See, that's where I don't mind people messaging me. Just say, drop me a message. Like, you'd rather, like, and I like I said, I know people don't have a clue sometimes how much these things cost, but drop me a text. Like, just drop, I see on Facebook, and it might, sometimes, don't get me wrong, it might take me a day or two to reply if it's just like a wee thingy, but I do get back to everybody, almost. You know, some things are just...
Martin last active 16 hours ago, Daly.
So you said you're fully booked for extensions this year. Fully booked for everything?
Everything,
Everything. So if somebody was looking for Martin Daly, it would be 2027.
So that's kind of just where we are now, and that's what kind of stopped to see quotes. And that's why I think I don't mind people messaging me, because I'm not these like another builder who's out every night pricing jobs. I'm quite like flexible now, and we're not like... When the marketing's obviously worked, because the people who are messages now are usually really serious people who are doing it, so that's why I don't mind them messaging. And it is usually now just extensions. Don't really get the kind of smaller jobs of that now, which I never did.
You're still fully hands-on?
Yep, aye. I wouldn't be any other way. Don't get me wrong, I tried it when I was younger. Like, I tried it when I was like 24, 25, saying, right, I'm going to hire a few boys and like I'll try and take a wee step back, and I hated every second of it. Everything went wrong.
Too much in control.
I was I had like 3 jobs on the go like a week. That was the thing, and I hated it. And I thought like, oh, I'll hire more guys. I'll hire 3 more guys. I'll make 3 times more the money. It actually was the opposite. I felt as if I was losing money.
So is that
control?
I lose control, and people like. I remember it being that bad at one point that during the Christmas holidays, I actually went out and worked every day, whilst all the boys sat in the pub drinking. I mean, they sat in the pub having a good time, and I went out just to keep the jobs moving, the flow, and keep the money coming in. And I was like, I was literally after that, I went, nah, I'm not doing this ever again. Just the 3 boys work with the now, and then the kind of subbies, and I'm never been happier. I mean, you can just manage a job so easily, and I just enjoy the job. You know what I mean? You know them. It's so much easier to track what's going in, what's coming out. And
what age are you now?
30.
30. Big 3-0.
Same as me.
So will that never be the dream though, that you want to just be hands off and manage?
No. So the plans actually that me and my fiancée Ava are moving to Switzerland. So
right, okay.
we want to move to Switzerland.
So rewind. So you just have become fiancés?
Just became fiancés in December there, yeah.
Excellent.
I know.
So big proposal in Barbados.
It was, aye.
Nice. By the fire pit.
It was,
by the fire pit.
We were talking off camera about being at Sandals. What a beautiful place. And so obviously she said yes.
She did that. Thankfully.
Wedding date?
6th of November this year.
Oh my God.
Excellent.
No mucking about.
No mucking about. I like that.
So we're not having a big wedding though. Like I say, so she has horses at, I'll say Ava because she'll kill me if I say she. She has horses at Ingliston.
Okay.
So they basically gave us a right good deal in it. And because we're wanting to move away, like to Switzerland, which would be the next like 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And that's where we want to kind of get married, everything like that, quite quickly because she's doing an accountants thing with PwC. Basically, they're saying, oh, would you like to go to Switzerland? And I'm kind of at that.
And how, where does the business stand in that front then? What's your plan?
Well, I don't know. Initially, we spoke about me going over, like I would kind of almost be like an oil rigger, come back and work like 2 or 3 months of the year and see it, especially the first year, just to make sure we actually like it. Because I don't want to go there.
Yeah, of course.
Like shut up shop, and then we're there for 3 months and be like, this is rubbish. I mean, miss home and everything like that. But again, I'm starting to feel that I'm kind of almost hitting the roof now. Like I love doing what I'm doing. The jobs that I'm doing are brilliant, and the business couldn't have been a better place. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just that type of mindset. I'm always wanting another step, and I kind of want to experience working with different people and different nationalities and seeing how they build things. So I feel like I know how to build a house here now, but I want to see how you guys do it. I mean, so I'd love to go to Switzerland. I can picture me now in like an Alp, building a cabin,
building the chalets,
building a chalet there. And
ski chalet.
I love the building. Like I love being out, like tool belt on, working away. That's my thing, and I don't care where I do it mainly, but Switzerland is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
That sounds amazing.
So that sounds incredible.
I love that. I love the ambition of that, and it's not just like
it's all mapped out.
that I'm just going to be here and just carry on. You know, I
but
think
that's why being in a
really
trade's brilliant. I think, like say, because you can do that.
I know, and we have spoke about this on the thing before, where we've said that trades years ago was always seen to be like if you weren't clever at this, that, and other, you just do a trade, son. You just go to your woodwork, and actually now it's like. Bloody hell, it's one of the best things you can do.
It's brilliant now. I mean, like I say, and I definitely, like, I was never told to get a trade. And like you said, it was kind of frowned upon, like, all right, getting a trade and stuff. Whereas now it's totally switched. Like, having a trade is almost even more valuable than a degree. I mean, because...
Incredible, and
it's
just came full circle.
Yep. It's interesting because my wee stepson he's autistic, but he's also got dyslexia. So he's really good with building. So like see Lego and like instructions and all that kind of stuff. He's superb at that. But put him in a classroom environment and he really struggles. And I'm saying to him like, but you could actually do construction. You could actually go on and do like really good things with your hands.
Definitely.
And not see it as being something like that's like secondary to actually having an education. That's where good apprenticeships and stuff come in. Which was one of my questions. Like, do you take on young people that are aspiring to do what you do, or?
So we're trying to take on 2 apprentices, but we're starting to do work experiences with schools.
Sure.
So it's a school in Motherwell. I can't remember the name. Nick, he'll knows the name. That's the teacher who's doing it. So he wants to send a couple of kids out every week to come work with us to start to show them actually. No, these are the paths you can go down. Go down if you're not wanting to go to uni. And I'm actually quite more excited about that because taking on an apprentice would be brilliant, but it's hard. I mean, it takes like I had the kind of 2 apprentices working with us, and one of them went to Australia after his 4-year apprenticeship, and you're like, oh, like I've just taught you for 4 years. I mean, another one went out on his own, and you're like, at the time I was like, really, like, but obviously now I'm like, oh, but good, like you've went out, like I've actually taught you enough that you've went away. Brilliant. But at the time, like I'm trying to grow a business, you've just left. So taking on apprentices is really difficult now, just with how much money it takes for them. And
you've probably you've probably been one of the best role models in order for them if then had that aspiration of going, I'm going to go and set this up. I'm going to go and do this in another country.
If you can do it, so can I.
Aye, exactly. It's
I know, but you've probably I could get how you would feel a bit hurt, but also then it's a bit of a compliment to you as well. It's like being a parent. They tell you that the best thing you can do is teach your children to go away and be independent.
Yeah.
But at that time, you're like, oh, I know. They're gone.
I know. That's it. But I like to say it's hard taking on apprentices. The biggest problem for kind of builders taking them on is how long they have to go away at college. So most kind of smaller builders take on an apprentice because they need a hand.
Yeah.
But for 2 months 2 weeks of the month they're at college.
Yeah.
So you're like, no,
that's
this
it.
needs to change. Like, and the reason why people aren't taking, one of the reasons I think a lot of people aren't taking on is like, for example, when my dad got taught, he went to college like once a month, like one day a month, or like 1 week a month, and you're like, right, okay, and like that's I think we need to start changing it so they're learning more in sight. And even the boys who worked with me at the time said, we learned so much, we've learned more for you in a day than we did the 2 weeks at college.
Yeah.
Aye.
So I think
Is
that
that
whole
where
system.
the FMB could influence?
Yep, aye. So they're trying to change all these things, and it will definitely will change in the next couple of years, just for employers to kind of take on
Even
people.
sounds like schools are moving or shifting towards a different approach to the whole work experience thing. Because I remember you get sent out in a month in October, you got your work experience, and then that was you back to school. But you're saying that they're sending.
Well, this is it. It's almost another classroom. This is what I feel like I'm going to be like a teacher almost, because like, well, obviously schools don't have. I know they have the little craft and design and tech and all that, which I had in my school, but it was nothing. Like we made like a 3D clock.
Aye.
You know what I mean, it wasn't even anything to do with joinery, but they're actually now saying, no, actually, we'll put the kids out in actual work with builders.
Yeah.
Like, that's brilliant. So they're actually getting taught how to do it. I mean, they're actually in that environment learning how to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's brilliant.
Do you know I actually got a 1 in craft and design and woodwork? I got a 1, Michelle.
Hired.
Check me.
But
Built myself a wee table and actually...
Well, interesting. I failed craft and design.
Not a chance.
I did, though.
I got a 1. I still to this day go, how did I manage to do that? Do you know, I sent my mum up to the glass man in Wisha and got her to get me a sheet of glass. And do you know, I
put
actually...
it on your table?
Put it on top of the table and they were, stained it and all that. Like, stained my MDF.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Still at the loft.
Oh, God. It's really funny because like lots of interior designers are dead craft orientated and they want to make things and upcycle things. I absolutely don't. And even when you go to classes to make things, like I'm like, oh no, that's not for me.
I watch a lot of these seem to pop up in my algorithm, and it's like seem to be a lot of like American people that are thrifting, so they're getting all these old pieces of furniture, but they're like they've got pure character in them, and they're stripping them back and modernization. What am I trying to say?
Modernizing.
Modernizing. That still doesn't sound right. Anyway, they're making them more modern.
Yes.
And the folk are just going mental because they're like, no, you're just removing the original character, and like, whereas they're taking this old unit, spray painting it black, chucking a nice chrome handle on it, brass handle, carnage. No for me.
Not for me. Upcycling.
Upcycling. Aye.
So not for me. But
So this brings me to my favourite part of the podcast. We're going to go for a little quick fire round.
Oh, all right, okay.
All right.
Have decided.
You've decided. Okay.
Dream project.
Oh, castle. Oh, I really want to build a castle.
Who wants to build a castle?
I want to build a castle. Well, not build it, but be part of one.
Right.
So,
somebody shout Claudia Wing coming in.
that, or like you say, work abroad and build something. I want to build something that's like will be there for centuries. Like it's like people come and visit. Yeah. I mean, I want to be like that. I mean,
best part of the job.
Going home.
Getting out for your dinner. The clients.
Yeah, pretty much.
Worst part of the job.
Worst.
Going to work.
The worst part probably is just when things don't go right, but it's just part of it. You know what I mean? The weather, like right now we're on a building site and you're walking, it's mucky, but you need to have a passion for it. I mean, just get on with it.
Yeah.
What'd you take in your cuppa?
Milton 2. That's builder's tea.
That's a builder's tea, isn't it?
Did you apply to help the DIY SOS with Nick Knowles and the gang?
We didn't actually. We were too busy. So
Shocking.
we were building a house, and I know I would have loved to have done something like that, but at the time we were in the middle of a massive project. And
me and Declan applied several times. Didn't take us?
No,
is that right?
They blanked us.
I just wanted to kick a wee high vis on.
I know, but it's like things like that where it's like a big, massive project.
I don't need Nick Knowles, Michelle. I was on ABC or something.
That's true.
Very true. Yeah, I think like I love watching things like George Clark with Amazing Spaces and stuff, and like what you're talking about, building somewhere else and seeing different processes and different ways and stuff.
So I'd love to do something like that. Like, see, like Grand Designs.
Yeah.
I'd love to be the new host.
Yeah.
But actually do it as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd love something like that.
some of them that Kevin McLeod's done is just
It's
been
unreal.
So if you look back at the very start and how young he was, and now when you look at it, you think how long it's going on. But like he used to say to them, like you don't have enough budget for that. You're never going to do that. And like
I know.
Just
I know it's brilliant.
It's unbelievable.
She'd actually love to build a castle, like.
You'll be part of something. Like I want to build
Something
something that's like quite historical.
legacy.
Leaves a legacy sort of thing. But it's obviously getting harder. You can't just build a castle these days. So.
Do you follow the stonemason on TikTok?
Which one? I know Scott, the stonemason. He was in the finals with me at Screwfix, and Scott, he does a lot of stuff I'd love to be part of. Historical, like restoring old historical buildings.
So
You're like,
this guy
that's really
I
cool.
should have got you for Pullet Shields.
This guy was restoring one of these places in Italy, and it was just
it's like Amanda and Alan when they do the house in Italy, and is it Greece at the end just now?
Finished Greece.
I'd love. That's what I want to do.
That
like
kind of thing.
I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, no, I want people to actually ship me across to say, get Martin to do this. Something like leave a signature on it. That's what I want to do.
Aye, the way that they just hand carved the marble and stuff like
honestly
that.
Don't know.
It is mind blowing, and I just love it. See when they follow the thing and they've just straight line with a pencil.
I know.
Gorgeous.
That's why I love going to Rome and stuff.
Gorgeous.
And even going to Rome and stuff, you walk around, you're like, how did they do this?
How did they do this all these years?
We talk about that in building site all the time. Like now I'm building a house and I've got a laser there, laser here. Like we've got all the gear, and you're like, how did we're going to Rome next month from Milwaukee, and again, take my dad with me as well, the cameraman. And we were talking about this inside the other day. Like, how on earth did they build the Colosseum and manage to get it round and all like finish at the same point? And we're building like a summer cabin. We've got 14 lasers to tell us where to build. Like, how did they do it? And even we've been the builders. I'm like, I don't know how they've done it.
So you said that your dad moved to Ireland. Is he still in Ireland?
Still in Ireland.
He's still in Ireland. So my husband is Irish, and we got married in Belfast. So that it wasn't a huge wedding either. Well, the Bolton was there, obviously. But so much easier there to build houses. They've got much more land than us to be able to build a house. And who always says, well, why don't we just go to Ireland and build the house? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. But I think
that's part of what my dad did as well. And it's so much cheaper. So he bought a plot of land over there, and it was like £12,000 for the plot of land. But on the land there was an old cottage. So what he decided to do, and the council said, we want you to keep the cottage. What he did was build a house, and the cottage is inside the house. The cottage is the kitchen.
I love that.
No way.
That's what he did. And the council came out, and instead of being like, oh, you can't do it, they loved it. And the council come up and like, thank God there's actually somebody now coming in and looking after the place. Actually wanting to improve. And that's kind of
North Lanarkshire Council tell you to flatten it.
Flatten it. They tell you to flatten it, or you can't build, and you're like, what is going on here? I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
So you heard it here first. If I get a
we need to see photos of that.
Ireland, I'll be getting Martin before he goes to Switzerland.
That's right. Yeah.
Well,
Brilliant.
Martin, it's been an absolute
so
pleasure having you on today.
Us.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us on
that
the
was great.
Scottish Interior podcast.
I know, it's been really good to have you. And people can contact you or phone you, message you, whatever. Yeah, but you're next year.
Next year.
So tell us, where can we get you on socials?
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's all Martin Daly Builders. So
Martin Daly
easy enough
Builders.
to find.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.